Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and it's been a wee while since we've actually sat and said this, and it's been a little while since me and thee got together to discuss an upcoming Rangers game. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you were to try and construct a difficult game for the first time that Rangers are sitting tippity top of the old table outside an Old Firm, it's this bad boy right here. And honestly, the longer you watch today's video, you'll hear that and hear how impressive this Hearts side actually is. But we won't only have that, we'll have the Hearts discussion, and we'll also kind of briefly discuss, the Europa League draw that happened today. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get in it. I've got food poisoning, so this could go wrong at any point. I know, CJ's ill again, water is wet, but that doesn't stop us from discussing the football. Let's go ahead and get to it then, shall we? And as always, before we get to the Rangers then, as this is a different mentality, a different approach, before we get in to all that, as always, let's start off with the old oppositional preview and have a look at tomorrow's dance partner, which again are Hearts, who at my current time of recording are sitting third in the old SPFL. A position, by the way, that if they continue to perform and play like they have been for the last couple of months throughout the rest of this season, a position they might move up as they go ahead and battle Celtic for second place, and that feels nice that I get to joke about that type of stuff again. Long may that actually continue. But let's go ahead and talk about Hearts. As always, if you do find yourself enjoying today's content, please consider hitting that like button or hitting that subscribe button. We are now reached 62,000 subscribers. 70k dream as well, a possibility. Thank you all for your support recently on the channel as we now face 63 on our way to hopefully reaching 70k. But getting on with the actual video, we talked about Hearts and Ford, we talked about how impressive they've actually been. Well, let's really get to the nook and cranny of that then, shall we? Because this Hearts side coming into this game versus Rangers at Ibrox tomorrow are undefeated in the last 12 games in all competitions, with 11 wins out of that. 11 wins from the last 12 games, including a 2-0 win away at Parkhead. Much appreciated. Sometimes wish we could get one, but again, still, you have to step back and look. This run that this Hearts side is on is truly fantastic. And can I just please give a bit of advice that hopefully every single person who's watching today's video will take on board and really pay attention to, right? Whether you're going to the game tomorrow or you're sitting in your pal's house, if you're at the pub, whatever you are doing. And in fact, even if you're not a Rangers fan, if you could just take this advice on board, if you support a team in Scottish football, whenever you play this Hearts side, can you please, and I mean please, not sing Hearts Are Falling Apart again? Because every single time a fan base sings this song, this Hearts side becomes a bull, and we just become the wee guys that's cutting about with red flags, and they just come out running. Because this Hearts side, if you go back to the start of the season, they were iffy, they were sticky, they were playing really poorly, people were having fun, Hibs fans were singing that song, everyone was having a joke about Hearts, look how bad they've been, blah blah blah, they're iffy, they're this. Well, this Hearts side is game absolutely exploding out the traps where they come into this game versus us tomorrow with how well we've been playing and how great we have been feeling and our great form that we're in. Well, they actually have better form than us, ladies and gentlemen, because we've lost in December when we got beat off Celtic. The best team in terms of form in Scottish football right now isn't it us, despite it feeling like that. It's this Hearts side with win after win after win. The only blemish in the last 12 games is a single draw. That is what we face tomorrow. And I know some people will be sitting here saying, how on earth is this actually happening? And let's talk about the run then. Let's talk about some of the wins that they've actually got. Because again, the biggest eye-opener was obviously that 2-0 win at Parkhead where Kingsley scored for the car park, and I understand that. But it's not the most impressive one for me. They've had some really great games. Even that game versus Dundee, the very impressive Dundee this season, Hearts were doing 2-0, and then the Dundee fans sang the song that thou shall not be named troops, and then Hearts came back and won 3-2 in the game of football. You've got Shankland winning them the Edinburgh Derby with the last kick of the ball with a fantastic finish. This boy's sitting here hitting outside of the fit shots like he's hitting Travellas on EA Sports 24, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the biggest reasons why Hearts have become the side that they are right now and have become the dangerous side they are is due to Shankland, right? We talked about it. 12 matches unbeaten for Hearts coming into this game. Do you know how many Shankland has scored during that run? 13. That right there is a tremendous outlay to have from a striker, ladies and gentlemen. That is what can win you points. That's why a natural goal scorer is absolute worth its weight in gold in terms of football. He just puts the ball into the back of net, scores the sublime, scores the ugly, scores the dreadful, but it doesn't matter as long as the ball's gone in to the back of net. And arguably, ladies and gentlemen, he could and probably should have more goals under his belt during this record-breaking run, not only for him, but for the way Hearts have actually been playing. Shankland should have more goals if he hadn't had stopped practicing his penalties because he knew Tav was going to be taking him as he expected a move in January. That's right, people, that's a silly line, but it's true, as he missed 5 penalties in his last little run after not missing one for far too long. It's been an incredible run for Lawerence Shankland, and he has been the difference maker in Scottish football, and he is the most lethal player in Scottish football so far this season. So if you look at it on paper, ladies and gentlemen, what we face tomorrow, now that we're Tipperary top of the league, is the most informed team in Scotland versus the most informed striker in Scotland. I like it. And that's truthfully all I've really got to say regarding this Hearts side. We're not going to break down their change of play. They're still playing the exact same way. Again, the difference maker is Lawerence Shankland. He's turning the games. He's getting involved. He's linking up the play, scoring the sublime. And I think Goldson or Suter or Goldson or Balogun, whatever the pairing is going to be, the more it is going to have to be on their game. As again, there is no one better in terms of form-wise in Scottish football than that man that we face tomorrow. And given we was expecting, and given he is one of us, and given he was hoping to probably come up the road in January, the fact that we never made that phone call, we've probably pissed off and heavily motivated most informed striker in Scotland. So aye, Goldson, can you just have a game, son? And I guess the last thing I'm going to say regarding Hearts is let's hope it's Agent Shankland rather than pissed off motivated Shankland. But aye, let's get to the Rangers end of today's video then, shall we? Because that's where I want to get to next, right? We've talked about how informed and how impressive this Hearts side has been, but again, we've been damn impressive, and if maybe we had a natural goal scorer, that one blemish in our record of the game versus Celtic at Parkhead wouldn't be held against us, and we'd be the most informed side. But it's interesting to look at, and it's always fun to compare and look at stories in terms of goal. A natural goal scorer probably changes that game in the amount of chances we had, but we can't change that right now. We can only get back, back what we've currently got in the building. But I'm not going to the striker conversation. We know where we are with that. I want to talk about the mentality side, right? Not only in terms of a game, because every game's a must-win 3 points. I'm not going to silly ourselves by breaking down and saying we need to win games. Of course we do, ladies and gentlemen. We're top of the league. There's 12 games left. Win our games, and guess what? We're lifting silverware. Let's no be silly like this. But where I want to go, ladies and gentlemen, is talking about the different aspects and what this game is compared to any other game we've played this season, as there is a massive difference, right? Because where I give this team credit for the last couple of months since Clement has pretty much came in, their ability to grind out results and pick up big performances and chop away at Celtic's leads at the top of the table, and actually take the option and take the chances that Celtic have given us by dropping points, being poor here, the stuff that has hurt us and haunted us honestly over the last couple seasons, with them dropping points and us not being able to go ahead and take advantage of it. We've done that this season, and they deserve all the credit for going ahead and doing that, the job that they've done to chop away at that points difference to where we now sit 2 points clear at the top. But this is time, and it's all completely different now, as the hunter, which we were for far too long, has suddenly became the hunted, ladies and gentlemen. And now we sit at the top. We kind of look to see how Celtic are setting the tone for the weekend. Celtic setting the tone for this. We are top of the league now. How are we going to set the tone? And this again is our first game being top of the league this season, and what we're going to do with it. We're against a side that's not been beat since December the 9th, ladies and gentlemen. Are we going to go out? Are we going to go out there and attack them and come away with a comfortable performance and pick up all 3 points? Or is there going to be nerves? Is there going to be some struggles? For me, this is a huge game to see what type of players we've got in this actual building and if they can handle it, because the next 2 games, spoiler alert, are absolutely massive. Hearts at Ibrox, and obviously away to Kelly. Those games are absolutely huge for this club. But again, the hunter has become the hunted. It's time for us now to set the tone in this league. If we want to be champions, if we want to lead this, if we want to be back to where we belong, we need to set the tone, and that all goes down to the Mora. And I don't know if it's like blind faith. In fact, no, I'm not saying blind faith in Phil Clement, because that is a disservice to that man, because he's came in to the job and actually won us the only other trophy available to win so far this season. Chop away to the league, got us through Europe. So to say blind faith is honestly unfair on the actual man. I'm just going to say I've got faith in that man leading this ship, that we will go out there and get a performance. And it's an ultimate egg in the face type game. It is an extremely tricky game because how well Hearts have been playing. They've not been beat again since December the 9th. I get everything you can look at it, but I look at my side and I think my side's better than them. We've got better players, we've got a better manager, and tomorrow is an opportunity to go ahead and show that. And honestly, truly, to the depths of my soul, I believe that we actually will. Now it's on the players to go out there and do that, and that's where the spotlight is going to be on them. Now they are top. Can they go and set the tone for the weekend and show they are, by far, the best team in this country? So I'm backing my team, I'm backing these players, and I'm backing my manager to continue the good feeling despite it being a tough test tomorrow, and as tough as it can get in Scottish football is what we face in tomorrow's match. But before we get to the injury update / injury news, and I give you a wee bit of updates regarding that, just a wee bit of reaction to the obviously Europa League draw that happened earlier. I was planning to make a sort of reaction video like throwing it back to the old car, if you will, but honestly it wasn't looking pretty this morning. I was struggling, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday was a write-off. The majority of this day has been a write-off, but we are here to talk about Rangers, and I hopefully didn't let you down with that. But let's react to the draw then, shall we? We have drawn Benfica. Of course, it's a Portuguese side. I'm sick of playing in Portugal, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? It's always either a Belgian or Portugal. That's all it ever is. And I think if you look at it, besides the likes of AC Milan and Roma, I think Benfica is right up there in terms of the hardest draws that we could have got from the unseeded pot. Ladies and gentlemen, they are a very good side. They've only lost once all season long in terms of the league football. They do have some very talented players, etc, etc. And of course, it'll be a tough game, but I'll be honest with you, I did catch some of their game yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, and they weren't that impressive in their match versus Toulouse, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? They were struggling and they required 2 penalties, one at the start of the game and one at the end of the game. I've seen that before in terms of Easter Road. So it's tough on paper. It'll be a tough game, but at this stage, when you're getting to the latter stages of the cup competition, you're going to be playing really good sides. And again, we've no paid off to be able to play carrier bag or anything like that. You know what I mean? We just have to play what comes our way. And we'll see how it goes at the time. We'll break them down more in terms of a preview. But my reaction is, am I panicking? No, am I buzzing? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the type of games you want to be playing in European football. And do I fancy us just off the bat? Absolutely, especially if we continue to play the way we were playing under Belgium Phil. But I did promise you we would end today's video by discussing the latest injury updates, and there's a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not a feel-good factor and everything's gone great. Nah, we did get a fresh new injury to this football club, and it is none other than Todd Cantwell, who arguably on form in terms of this Rangers side has been our most influential player over the last couple of weeks. His goal scoring, his goal creation, his chance creation per game, he's been simply sensational in the latest run that has saw us go top of the table. But now he is officially ruled out for the next couple of weeks, which is honestly a stab to my heart. But again, it does give you an opportunity to the likes of Tom Lawrence to come in now and get an opportunity to really drive this Rangers team forward, especially if he can be what he can be for his football club. You're talking for a like-for-like replacement in terms of that department. I can't sit here and talk around it and try and be smiley about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a massive blow for his football club. The way that Cantwell has been playing, his running, his movement, his link-up play with the likes of Silva, etc. has been sensational. So there is your gut punch. Another gut punch, by the way, is some of you might have saw Sima being tweeted out this week on social media as Rangers done a great thing working with kids with unfortunate terminal illnesses. And honestly, what they've done there was a great experience, and obviously the kids loved their time and everyone saw Sima. We all got excited, said Sima, does that mean he's coming back? Because he's doing that now. He was just getting involved in what was a fantastic day for those kids. And obviously, this football club Seema's still on the same timeline. We did find out that Kamal Roof's due to be back in the next week or so that's great. He'll be back for a game. But aye, Cantwell's ruled out. Seema, Danilo's still on the same timeline. Everyone else remains the same. And aye, it wouldn't be a Rangers injury update if I never told you a big player has been injured. And that is Todd Cantwell. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is a massive, massive game tomorrow, and I cannot wait to see how it goes. What about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. I'm going to go with a Rangers favourite. Rangers 2, Hearts 1. Shankland's going to score at some point. You just know it is. I just think we've got enough quality to punish Hearts with their first loss since the 9th of December. That is what I want to see tomorrow. Please allow us to see it. And until then, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye-bye.